Step out of the car with your hands up. Do it now. Keep your hands where I can see them. Come back to my hood. Keep coming. Keep coming. Hey, I'll be hands. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. Hey, keep eyes on him. Go ahead. I got him to the right. You're not telling me why you're doing because you guys are doing the car meet and you guys are doing burnouts in parking lots, and there's a lot more to the story, but we will talk about it when we get closer to where we need to, okay? We can't have you guys putting people at risk in the streets like this, man. I didn't do anything in the street. Okay.
All right, guys, so welcome back. Thank you for hanging out, spending a few moments here with me. If you're new, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, today we're going to be talking about two social media influencers that are now having legal issues because of meets that they've hosted. Both of them are very different cases, and we're going to go over each of them, and then I'll place my opinion at the tail end of the video. Now, the first one is the one that you saw in the intro. A YouTuber ended up going to a different state, orchestrating a meet, a time, location, and there was a handful of donuts and burnouts, and I'm sure that several people complained. When law enforcement pulled up, they saw a Charger Hellcat in the middle of doing the donuts and what they were called there for. So they obviously arrested the driver, and the passenger, which happened to be the YouTuber, most likely filming the inside of the cabin while doing the donuts and burnouts and whatnot, was also taken in because they found out that they were in charge. They were the one orchestrating it through their social media account.
We see that the way some of these groups communicate is through social media, so it is kind of a challenge for law enforcement to keep up with where they're going to be.
Now, the second case was a guy that actually works with Whistle and Diesel and a handful of other YouTubers, but they use their Instagram to kind of coordinate cars and coffees at night. This person gets legal permission, gets permits, food trucks, you name it, and it's basically like a cars and coffee at night. Everybody shows up, pops their hood, talks about their cars, modifications.
I've been charged and I was jailed on 5 counts of inciting to riot because of my car meets that I do on this page here, More Meets. You might have seen this on Instagram, maybe you saw it on YouTube.
An individual by the name of Keller Moore.
Maybe you saw it in the news.
This morning, a man is now behind bars after he's accused for inciting riots and races in Nashville.
It is quite literally everywhere right now, at least within the automotive world. If you don't know who I am, my name is Keller Moore. I'm a video editor for YouTubers like Whistle and Diesel, Wildcat. I do content for a couple of e-commerce brands. And then I do car meets on the side, purely for fun. I never even charge admission unless it were to be some big event or whatever. They are park and chill car meets as stated here. And as stated in every single flyer that I've ever posted, I say no donuts, no burnouts, no BS, whatever. I try to model the car meets into being a nightlife cars and coffee. There was even an event 2 weeks ago that was supposed to happen at Nissan Stadium. We got permits, insurance, security, and everything. There was going to be food trucks, a DJ, tons of money poured into the event. And before it even happened, police called Nissan Stadium and scared them into backing out of the event because they were like, you guys are idiots. You don't know who you're leasing this space to, like whatever. Canceled that one before it even happened. But it's because of these takeover kids that show up to my car meets in the past, and they'll swing donuts in the back of the parking lot, or they'll do burnouts, or they'll do whatever to get their 5 seconds of fame on someone's Snapchat story. And now I'm taking the hit for all of you guys. Like, for example, this kid right here, he is basically stating that if I don't want people doing donuts or whatever, turning my meets into takeovers, then I need to get a better grip on it myself. You see the flyer, you see what you're not supposed to be doing, yet you guys still come out and do it and then say it's still my fault. Doesn't really make much sense, does it? I've never hosted a takeover. I've never organized street racing like this news station is saying. A week ago on Friday, I went with my attorney to book myself into jail. I had some buddies with me. Cody was there, Whistle and Diesel.
Do we have any information on why he's being arrested?
Yeah, looks like he's inciting a riot. Don't know, bro.
What the police don't understand is that these car meets have attendance of people from all ages. There's little kids coming with their parents. There's old guys bringing classic cars. There's whatever, you name it. But obviously a bunch of people my age. It's something for people to look forward to on the weekends. It's completely harmless until these takeover kids show up, because at every single one of my meets, I will always walk up to the police and tell them like, hey, I'm the one that put this thing on. Is there anything you need from me or whatever? They always give me the same response, that they're just here to make sure that things don't get out of hand. They've never told me I had 5 warrants out for my arrest because I was doing car meets. I'm just in a really weird spot because now I got to go to court, a long and lengthy process to try and prove that I was not hosting riots or inciting riots or whatever they're trying to claim. Last time I checked, this is not a riot. I've emailed police before trying to ask for their help. No response. I am literally trying to do something that's so harmless, and I could literally be facing time in jail.
So really, my opinion is that we are starting to see basically a culture war happening within the car community. You are seeing a very takeover culture starting to join a lot of the car enthusiasts that are used to popping their hood, talking about their cars, their modifications. And there's the takeover culture where they don't really, it doesn't appear as though they modify their vehicles. They're there to kind of do donuts, have a little bit of fun, cut loose in a location. And you're seeing a conflict of interest now where one side is kind of interfering with another. And I saw this coming, okay? Back in 2018, 2019, I used to host meets. And let me tell you, parking up, popping your hood really wasn't the thing that I wanted to do. But at the same time, you know, I wanted to select a location where we would be out of the way, in a remote location, have a little bit of fun, you know, do some burnouts and just be out of the way and have a little bit of fun. But in 2019, I believe it was my last car meet. We all, you know, were dispersing. Donuts were happening. Burnouts were happening. One of my buddies ended up getting nabbed by the cops. He did absolutely nothing, no burnouts. He didn't accelerate like crazy or nothing like that.
I understand. Your exhaust is illegal. That's not a question.
In the state of Pennsylvania?
Well, you're in the state of New York.
I understand.
So we're going to have an argument about it?
No, I'm just asking you questions. I'm not having an argument.
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to inform myself because I don't know.
At that point, I knew that people that were orchestrating meets, people that were putting and piecing these things together would eventually be held accountable, especially if law enforcement cops ended up getting a bug up their butt and trying to question who the person in charge was. And, you know, I was thinking to myself, I don't want to be the person in charge of this. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear what you have to say.